And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Killer Bunnies and the Quest for the Magic Carrot. A lot of people like this game. Obviously, it flies off the shelves. A lot of people hate this game. Now, by all means, I should be in the crowd of haters. It fails so much of my criteria. However, I love it. I think it's fun. It has lots of pop culture references. It's just entertaining for me. There's a kabillion expansions and they all fit together. You know, I'm almost a hypocrite. Well, I guess I'm not almost. I guess I am a hypocrite here because I despise Munchkin for all the same reasons I like Killer Bunnies. Maybe you can't like them both. Who knows? But today we're talking about an expansion for Killer Bunnies, the Chocolate Booster Deck. Now, I have reviewed every expansion of Killer Bunnies thus far, but I've written reviews of them because it's been a while ago. This is an expansion that was put out basically to re-release some of the promo cards. Well, you know what? Let's look inside the box and we'll get to it. Alright, this deck is made up of lots of cards. It comes with, I like this card as a slideshow, Bunnies the Gathering, which is also kind of a nod towards the Killer Bunnies and the Ultimate Odyssey, which basically is a kind of a ripoff, not a ripoff, but a homage to Magic itself. The game comes with a whole bunch of more Kabbalah dolls, including this $20 one that I like quite a bit. It comes with your typical choose a carrot, barrier cards, prune Danish, Area 51, return a carrot, draw 3 carrots, choose carrot cards, okay? All that typical stuff. What makes this one interesting, though, is it has a lot of the cards in it are Omega cards, which means, or Psi or new cards. These were cards, I'm not sure of all the details because I'm not like a Killer Bunnies on the know, but I do know that many of these bunnies, including this one here, for example, the Dago Bunny, are bunnies that were released, or cards that were released as promotional items. There was lots of these promotional items that were released. I definitely know that's what the Omega cards are. And so if you weren't able to go to a convention and get these, or get them some other way from a store or what have you, then now you can get them in this game. Dago Bunny is one of the, I like it just because Dagobah. But also he protects the Kinder Bunnies, and I use the Kinder Bunnies in my games, so it's good to have this bunny out there. It also comes with some more celebrity bunnies and specialty bunnies. There's Bunny White, and then you got other nods towards popular culture like the Bunnies of the Caribbean and Lord of the Bunnies and Spider Bunny. Now, let's talk about Spider Bunny here real quickly, not just because he looks really cool, but because if you notice here on the side of the card, there is an up and down arrow. And this is a new mechanic to this set, and these are on these what are called Psi cards. These are called arrows and kites. The one pointing up is an arrow, and the one pointing down is a kite. And there's 6 different colors. If you get one that's pointing up and one that's pointing down, and they are not matching colors. Okay, so here I have a blue, and then I have over here a yellow arrow. If I have those, I can play both cards from my hand out of my turn. So I could say, maybe use once to choose a carrot, if he's the player wearing the most clothing with the color that matches the highest die rolled. And I can play maybe use once by a player to eliminate either Carrot Thief, Pilfer the Pawn, Zodiac Thief, Punker Ridge, or Pinch Your Place. Or maybe use once to give a player's bunnies in place during a shockwave. Maybe use at any time. I can play both of those. Now, here's the deal. That sounds all really cool and neat that I can play both of those together. But the fact is these cards are fairly specific, and playing both together, I don't know. I don't see it happening. But if you play both together that are the same color, orange and orange, like this one here, then instead of doing whatever the card says, and that's too bad because Hitch Bunny's Guide is a funny card, you play both of them, and I played orange ones here. All orange bunnies in the circles go to any player I want, which is 99% of the time going to be me. So, other cards here, I really like the Indiana clones. You can discard your whole 5 card hand and replace it with weapon cards from the weapon store. While we're speaking on this subject, this expansion makes absolutely no sense if you don't own several of the other expansions. In fact, if I was getting all the expansions, I'd get this one last. Not because I don't like it, I do like it, but because a majority of it just doesn't make any sense. I like A Tale of Two Bunnies. Anyone who has at least 3 bunnies has to give away 2 of them to other players. We have Even Steven Odd Todd, The Scarlet Letter, Horton Hates a Who, Harry E. Potter, and that's another card that I know was a promotional card, but is in the game now. And here you can counteract the death of a red or pink bunny with Red Herring, Pink Salmon. And W is for Whammy, Baby Bunnies on Board, Through the Looking Glass. And you can see this is a card I like quite a bit, the Through the Looking Glass, because not only does it talk about the Alice in Wonderland adventure, but also the Star Trek episode of Through the Looking Glass. And so it references both of them. That's the thing I like about Killer Bunnies. It's cute and a lot of people like it, but it also has tons of references that people are going to understand, especially if they have any kind of involvement in not just pop culture, but geek culture. So that's basically it for this expansion. Like I said, you will like the expansion if you like Killer Bunnies and want more of just all kinds of weird stuff. There's nothing majorly game-breaking or changing or even essential here. The whole arrows up and down thing, I can take or leave that. And there's not a lot of new things here, just a lot of cards. So for the completist, this is great because there's cards that they can get that they've been looking for a while. And for everyone else, it's just a bunch of really odd cards that will help change the game somewhat. Not much else to say here. If you're a fan of the series, you've already bought it anyway, or maybe you didn't know about it, so we'll go out and get it. For me, hey, more bunny goodness.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.